The gospel. The gospel.
So help us God. I'm Rick Wiles. Today is Monday, December 4, 2023. Israel is using artificial intelligence to operate a mass assassination factory in Gaza. The lethal production line is systematically obliterating Gazan neighborhoods, killing children as it hunts down Hamas resistance fighters. Brazenly mocking Jesus Christ, the Zionists named their AI killing machine the gospel.
So I went to go find out to see if this was true, and sure enough, it is. Let me read a little bit of this article to you. In a short statement on the IDF website, it claimed it was using an AI-based system called Habzorah, or the Gospel in English, in its war against Hamas to produce targets at a fast pace, from 50 targets to 100 a day. Dear fellow Christians, is this the gospel that you're backing? I don't think Christians know what the gospel is anymore. Is this the gospel, Christians? Do you like how they mock you by naming their weapon the gospel? All you pro-life Christians out there, is this the gospel? I call heaven and earth as witnesses today against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both you and your descendants may live. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. Is this the gospel, Christians? Is this the gospel that you want to share with the world when you stand by Israel?
I will burn their city to the ground. Yeah. I will find every rat hole that they hide in. And I will drop down enough explosives to scare God Almighty.
Do you agree with this blasphemy to scare God Almighty? Did you hear him?
The majority of our relatives actually are survivors from Hitler. And with the help of the Almighty, we remain true to our religion, Judaism. And because we are true to our religion, Judaism, we stand in fast opposition, in total opposition to this new creation, this new ersatz Judaism, this new type of Judaism called Zionism that created a state of Israel, who simply are masquerading in the facade of my religion of Judaism, because Judaism is totally not occupation. It's forbidden, according to our Jewish religion, to steal, to kill. We, as a Jewish people, strictly adhere to this subservience to God, to this covenant that we made with God. And one of the issues were that we were to go build a temple in the Holy Land, and then if we were not on that high level required, we would be driven from the land, as it says in Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, all the prophecies. Anybody who studies it, it's open books for anybody to read. And you will find that it was clear. The temple of King Solomon was destroyed. The Jews went into exile, were dispersed amongst the nations 2,000 years ago. And since then, we are under oath by the Almighty not to return as a sovereignty, not to create any sort of Jewish sovereignty, any type of nationalism. And for 2,000 years, although we went through the Crusades, Inquisition, so many trials and tribulations, we never attempted to reestablish a Jewish sovereignty till the advent of Zionism, which is a mere 100-odd years. This whole concept of Zionism is 100-odd years. And these people came along, and in the face of the Jewish authorities, who all stood up and said, "Who are you guys? What are you doing?" They went and they ignored them, they ridiculed them, and they said they're going to make a national home. Mind you, they didn't look like people who are representing a Jewish religion. I carry always around a book with a few basic pictures. A basic picture of Jews, how we live together in peace and harmony in every Muslim land. This is our history of generations. And then I take a picture here of David Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister, reading the Declaration of Independence in Independence Hall in 1948 when they created the state. And anybody who can see that picture, you can go to our site, you'll see there's at the dais, there's a bunch of people sitting there. Not one of them is covering his head as a Jew is required to show that we have a God above us. So this is not Judaism. This was a movement of heretics, people who detested the religion, who went away from the Jewish religion and decided they wanted a national home. They decided it would be practical to go to Palestine to make their national home. And because then they could wave the Bible and say to the people, "Hey, God gave us this land." And they knew what they're doing. You have the evangelistic Christians. They were just now, if you took last week, as you know, there was this big rally in support of the Zionists in Washington, D.C., where John Hagee spoke, and he brings along with him millions of people, more than there are Jews on the world, bringing along that they should support them and say, yeah, well, what about the Palestinian people? What about all these people that were living there for hundreds of years? These beautiful, godly creation people are living there. Well, they don't seem to have a problem with that. They have a goal that, according to their religion, that the Jews should be there, maybe Armageddon. Jews and Muslims should kill each other out or turn to Christianity, whatever their belief is. And it's very even controversial, by the way, amongst the Zionists, when they take the support of the Christians, that it's quite questionable, because what are they looking out to do when they have the Jews up there, according to the Christian belief?
Should Christians bless Israel? Current events have caused Christians to become conflicted as to what side they should be on. This conflict is a result of a doctrine that has permeated Christianity that asserts that we should bless Israel unconditionally. They often use Genesis chapter 12, where God is speaking to Abraham. In verse number 2 it states, "And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that blesseth thee, and curseth him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed." Verse number 7, "And unto thy seed will I give this land." Advocates of this doctrine have asserted that this passage teaches conclusively that if we're going to be blessed of God, then we need to bless Israel, in spite of the fact that they've rejected Jesus Christ, lest we incur a curse upon ourselves. But this is not only superstitious, but even inaccurate, because it implies that the seed that's being talked about here is referring to the physical nation of Israel. Whereas Galatians chapter 3 begs to differ. Verse 16 states, "Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not unto seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ." Proving conclusively that the recipient of the promise is not the physical nation of Israel, but Jesus Christ himself. Verse 29 further explains the succession and states, "And if ye be Christ's, then are ye Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise." Showing us that the reason that all families of the earth are blessed is not because of a physical nation, but because of the gospel of Jesus Christ, who is the seed of promise.